Choosing where to submit your work can be quite challenging. Sometimes it may seem as if there's no suitable outlet out there, especially if the work is interdisciplinary, while in other cases you may be confronted with too many options, which isn't helpful either. The University of Bristol promotes the threefold guidance of Think, Check, and Submit, which is a recognized initiative by the publishing industry to help educate researchers about publishing outlets and to build trust in credible publications. The checklist is quite simple, so it recommends that before you settle on a journal, you should investigate it by asking questions such as, are my colleagues aware of it? Does the journal have a peer review process in place? Can I easily identify the publisher behind the journal? And is the publisher a member of a recognized initiative, such as the Open Access Publishers Association? While this is good advice, especially if you're new to academic publishing, I find that it effectively tells you what journals you shouldn't publish in. So if none of your colleagues have heard of this journal and the journal is promising publication without some form of peer review, you should probably stay clear of that. But then, how do you go about choosing amongst credible journal options? So here are a few things that I would advise you to consider in making this decision. The first thing is to look into the aims and scope of the journal. This will be published in the journal's website, and it is safe to say that the quickest way to rejection is to submit a paper that doesn't fit what the journal is after. There are also some more informal ways of speculating whether your work would be welcome in the journal or not. So, for example, I like to investigate the research interests and work of the editor and any associate editors in the journal. Is there someone in the editorial team that has expertise in your area of research or your specific methodological approach? If there isn't anyone, it doesn't mean that you will get rejected, but if there is, it generally gives me some confidence that the person handling my submission may be positively predisposed to the work. The second thing I would look at is readership. So does your scientific community read this journal? These are the people you want to engage with, so if this is not a journal that they value and frequently read, then perhaps this isn't the right avenue for you. Having said that, there are cases when you might deliberately be seeking to target a different scientific community, so a group that exists outside your regular disciplinary boundaries because, for example, your work is interdisciplinary, or because it has implications for a field outside your own, or because you're just interested in developing closer conversations with that field. The third thing I usually look at is who else publishes in that journal. So who are the authors and what does their work comprise of? Is my own work building on theirs? Will I be able, for example, to cite them in my paper? If the answer is yes, then this is a good sign because it means I can contribute to academic conversations that are taking place in this journal specifically, and journal editors, generally speaking, like that quite a lot. Finally, I will look at the perceived reputation of the journal, and this is quite a controversial area. There's many standardized ways of doing this, such as looking at the journal's impact factor, a common measure of quality in the academic community, or looking at academic journal ranking lists that are prevalent in your field. Bear in mind, however, that these metrics are only one way of understanding the quality of a journal, and sometimes smaller or newer journals that don't perform as strongly in terms of metrics develop a positive reputation amongst niche scientific communities, and hence they might make a good outlet for your work.